Hello and welcome back. We are playing the United Kingdom. This is our third episode in playing the United Kingdom, and I just thought I'd kind of quickly review a little bit of what's going on and what we've been doing. In our starting steps opener, we made sure to take Beijing, largely because we wanted this Forbidden City, which is now giving us plus 55 authority because for whatever reason it benefits from the 10% colonial exploitation juice, and is also giving us 22 legitimacy. This is allowing us to have a hyper-legitimate government in a way that we probably should not be able to. I find it funny that colonial exploitation helps expand for that. Last episode specifically, we got caught in a kind of forever war going after Bahrain. Bahrain's a pretty good state to conquer because it doesn't give you a lot of infamy, and also it gives you a lot of oil later on in the game. We got into a bit of a forever war with France over that because France decided to join against us, and during that time our infamy decayed to very, very low. We've also been trying to, pull people into our market. If we take a look, we got the Ottomans into the market, which they pulled a bunch of other people into the market, and we also got the Mongolians into the market, and this is kind of the name of the game for what we will be doing. We will be looking to keep the infamy under 25 until maybe we want to turn a corner and go to 1k infamy. Generally speaking, if the infamy is under 25, it's really easy to pull people into your market. Once it gets over that, it becomes more difficult to pull them into the market, and if they get to like 75 infamy, people will start leaving the market. And so, generally speaking, you want to maintain a low infamy, and then once you decide you want to have a lot of infamy, you might as well just run it all up to 1k. And so this is kind of how I approach the game in terms of infamy, and this is how we will be doing it with the United Kingdom, but we are not strong enough yet to fight multiple great powers at once, which is kind of what ends up happening when you crank the infamy up to 1k, because everyone will join against you a lot. So this is kind of what we've been doing, and then I've also been thinking about, we just have this absurd, this seems to be the unique bonus that you get from, the United Kingdom, is this plus 50 popularity, just having this hyper popular leader. So we will actually be staying on this, we will be staying on monarchy for quite some time just because she is so good. Because having such a high popularity, what it does is it gives us a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, we are just getting 90 free authority, basically. And so it also is going to keep our trade union... it's also going to help attract people to the trade union interest group, I believe. Maybe it's more based on his authority. He's neutral. But if it does, or if it doesn't. If it does, that's really good, because often it's difficult to keep the Industrialists strong for very long, because the trade unions kind of come on up. We also have an interesting situation here, which I don't think I've ever had happen, where we don't have a single marginalized interest group. Everyone is in power to some degree in the UK. UK has been an interesting start, because for the most part, I haven't started out as any one of the strong countries, or done any run-throughs like this, and so this is a little bit different with the UK. Getting it in is a bit interesting, but let's get off and away. Oh, actually, we have to declare a war. We are on 0 infamy. If you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, and so we want to find a war that gives us maybe probably 12 plus-ish infamy. And the reason why is we want to decay while we are declaring the war, fighting the war, and still have a little bit left over. And so we were going to be looking for a war. I was thinking Transvaal, just noticing the events. Transvaal, actually, the state of Transvaal, has a ton of gold mines, so getting into that kind of in the longer term is something we're interested in. And so we could, for example, conquer Zululand, so we would have an adjacency to Transvaal. This will give us 10 infamy. And so this is something that I was considering. There's also like a decent amount of stuff here that's... Okay, it's not the best or worst place to conquer. Also, it's on theme, I suppose. We could also, maybe do something a little naughty with the Netherlands. Except for we can't because they are happy with us. But if we think about longer-term, like, strategic objectives, we're going to be trying to keep Prussia, Austria, and France down. So maybe we should kind of couch our idea of how we're going to expand in that. We could also just go after Burma or something like this and try and puppet them. This will generate quite a lot of infamy, a little bit more than we would like, but this is fine. Let's see, we could just conquer one of these guys, but that's not going to give us enough infamy. We will not be using all of our infamy decay. So we want a little bit of more expensive war, but not a super expensive war. Trugal States is a subject. We do want to puppet them, but that's going to take basically no infamy. And so I think it's going to be going after Zulu here. We could also puppet Argentina is usually a pretty good one. It gives like a similar amount of infamy right there. And could also puppet Chile for like the same reason. This is often a nice soft space to expand. We just want to make sure when we click this that there is no France in here. And there might be a France with France might have a South Africa interest. No, it's just Portugal. And so this is kind of usually South America down in this region, if we take a look at the strategic regions map, is a pretty good place to expand in the La Plata region because people will not have interests there. And so you can kind of get away with taking stuff without having to worry about great powers swooping in and just like destroying you. In this case, South Africa does not yet have any great power interests that we are worried about. We don't want to declare a war where France has an interest because we don't want them to put their thumb in our pie. So, yeah. We also had a little bit of convoy raiding on us. So, I'm just trying to think if we want to Diplo get Argentina or if we want to manually get Argentina. I think what we want is we want to have a border with Brazil in terms of our market. And that puppeting Argentina is the best way to facilitate this. This would also give us a border with Bolivia. Because currently, if we try and invite them to the customs union, there should be a malice from not being adjacent. Oh no, they are adjacent to us because of this. I forget about this. So maybe taking that is not as high a priority. We could also look to puppet New Granada, which will give us a ton of infamy. But the problem with this is we would be concerned about France and France joining. Mainly, we don't want to fight another war against France that lasts forever. Otherwise, I think I like this, taking this best because maybe we manage to get, you know, the Panama Canal a little bit easier. Also, Venezuela has a ton of oil, but again, we don't want to declare a war that France can join in on. Even though it's kind of giving us an amount of infamy we are interested in. The Zulu, like, conquering Zulu is like a little bit on the expensive side in terms of what we're interested in. And so, but maybe this is fine because it does let us colonize this little Basuto, sorry. And this is okay. Could also maybe puppet them. No, that's not really worth. Yeah. We are planning on a low infamy war at some point to just open up Japan's market, but this will give us no infamy, so this is why we do not want to declare this war at this time. And I think it comes down to Zulu or rolling the dice for New Granada. New Granada is the much better war. Let's take a look and see if France has debt. They don't have any debt. I'm not 100% sure if their truce with us might prevent them from joining. I'm not 100% sure how that interacts sometimes. I've seen countries turn around and kind of get wars that it seems like they should not be able to. Let's try and puppet them, though. I really like this war because I want to get Panama. It also gives us adjacency in terms of market to Ecuador and Venezuela, as well as Costa Rica, and so expanding the market can be a little bit easier. We could also just go after Costa Rica, but this is not going to give us the type of, or we would just conquer them, but this won't give us the amount of infamy we want. We kind of want a big chunk of infamy, so we will puppet them here. And hope the United States doesn't join, although I think that they won't. And we will mobilize just the big boys for now, which should give them a -75 fearful, which it does, so they will back down if nothing else happens, and the United States is more than happy to join us, so we will see. Also excited to see that France is not looking like they're going to join them immediately. So this is all very good in the hood, as it were. We get an obligation from Kalat. We see that in the bottom corner there. Let me know what you think of this spot for the camera. We don't like that they're having a revolt, but we can pull them into the customs union now. That we have the obligation, so we will stop bankrolling them as well and hope that Kalat wins this and not the Kalati peasant revolt. It looks like they are much stronger, so we won't get involved. If there was a substantive difference, we would maybe do something else different, but they are in, which means we can kind of move the bar a little bit, and we are going to start bankrolling Afghanistan instead, and try and get Afghanistan into the market to just slowly we get the French siding with New Granada, not what we wanted. We will try and maybe get, Now, we don't want to offer a treaty port. We can offer an obligation to the United States. I guess we wouldn't hate being in a defensive pact with the U.S. We are going to take no war goals from France because we cannot get on the war goal. And this way we will be able to enforce on them faster, but this is really annoying. This is kind of exactly what we wanted to avoid. In terms of min-maxing, if we wanted to min-max, we would restart the save. Because this is, well, actually, we are going to have a bunch of decaying infamy for quite some time, so it's not too bad. It would have been really bad if we declared a 5 infamy war, and then we got stuck in, and then we were decaying nothing for, like, forever, but this is fine. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to escort convoys with a couple of our boyos. Here, I think we can recruit another admiral right now. Yep, New England we can. Don't really want to give power to the landed gentry. Could also just delete the navy in New England. I think I like that better because I don't like having these 5-stack navies. So let's find where in New England we own. We own this. This is not where the naval base is. There's Hudson Bay Company. We're gonna go in here and look for it. Bermuda? Is that where the New England? Alright, we're gonna just delete those. And we will have these guys escort convoys to there, I guess. We will have these guys defend the coast up here. And these guys will raid the convoys of France, and we will use them to make the landing. We will now mobilize everyone. And we are going to be a little bit more aggressive, I think, about trying to push... Well, no, let's... A little bit of a bummer here. We are just going to have another expensive war with France, another journey into... I mean, maybe we could... I don't think the US is going to be that helpful here. I think we're mainly just going to land and kind of get what we want, but... I guess we can also expand the military just a hair. I think that this makes sense. I think I like having a larger military in the capital anyways. And I think we will have to fight France a little bit. I do like also maybe adding naval bases, maybe not. Kind of, the mobilization is a bit expensive. The investment pool is growing. Okay, so we're actually kind of in a good shape here. We get rivaled by the two Sicilies. I think we'll just rival them back so that we decay our infamy faster by running a larger Diplo surplus. We don't want to rival France because we are trying to get the achievement. We get an obligation for the Great Mongolian State. That's great. Change to our customs union. Ah, we can't change because they're... Damn. We're going to keep that on there. Get Ionian Peasant Revolt. Interesting. Well, I think we'll put our smallest guy on there. Or not our smallest guy, because John Seaton is the guy we might use to land. Instead of Hugo. This is just gonna be... It's kind of... France is just a little bit of a thorn in our sides here. We are losing money here. The important thing to note is you have to do whatever your surplus is plus this number. Laissez-faire. Queen intervenes. The Queen's will be done. Wow, that makes a lot of people unhappy, though. We're going to just take a... Well, we really want laissez-faire. We're going to do Queen's will be done, but unfortunately, I think this is going to lose us some bonuses here. No, it's not. It will start radicalizing the rural folk, though. I think we can take that. Also, the trade unions become unhappy, which we don't like that. That's going to activate their malice. This war is going to pop off. They are confident because they have stronger military combined, but the thing is France is going to... Well, this is a little bit different situation because we can't push in all the way before France can get onto the front. We have to think a little bit where we want to land. We might actually want to land 2 places at once. I actually do think we want to land 2 places at once, and hopefully try and brick the fronts that the French can help out in. So I think we land here and up in Panama. And we just pray to God that they do not, that they don't land, the mainland somehow. Yeah, we should have just declared war for Argentina. That would have been fine as well. I mean, I think this will turn out okay. I don't think it's too big a mistake here, but we did think through it correctly in that we didn't want them to join the play. We weren't 100% sure how it works. It seems like... So sometimes you cannot join plays against someone because you have a truce, and it seems like the AI doesn't care. I don't know if it's different, or I'm just not sure what exactly the mechanic is that allows them to join even when you have a truce, when you as a player cannot. But, okay. I mean, France's navy is, like, in the nothing burgers because we have sunk a ton of the flotilla. Their power projection is 48. Ours is, like, 3x is theirs. And so we're going to land New Granada here, and then, hopefully just try and defend the mainland again. We can also, because we don't have any war goals against France itself, we can decay them below 0 because we don't have to control anything, and so taking stuff like Algeria will be much more meaningful and useful for us. So hopefully we get in here in a reasonable time frame. We do have... We could raise taxes if we wanted in terms of just the legitimacy concerns, but I think I'm kind of wanting the standard of living... I'm wanting that to rebound a little bit, so that's why I'm not raising taxes. But we should put down this revolt pretty quick here. And then we can land our other troops under Frederick Mackenzie. Are pushing in here. And we can land them here, I think. So France should be coming to this. We don't want a defensive pact with them. We'd rather... Or is France not coming? France needs to put people on this front, otherwise we're going to push in pretty fast here. And just enforce on them. Are they landing? Oh, Jesus. That icon gave me a heart attack. Okay, so we can take the minus bureaucracy pretty comfortably, I think. Because we are running a little bit of a surplus. Well, just kidding. I mean, 5 is fine. I think Yorkshire had a lot of stuff, and then we'll just do that. Should be in fine shape. We are decreasing the amount we need. And then... Yeah, okay, so here come the French. And I think they are going to make it in time, which is unfortunate for us. We will navally invade with Frederick Mackenzie as well, because I think we have finished that. So we'll invade with Frederick Mackenzie here. And just try and close off the way by which they can get in before they can get in. We will come here and we will raid convoys that the French would be using here instead of supporting our own convoys. Or can we stop naval landing? Patrol coast. Can we patrol coast here? No, we can't, because we want to stop their naval landing, but or them getting here. But that's not quite how it works. But we are pushing in pretty quick here. And if we manage to brick the front for France, that'll be fantastic. Like, if we control all of the coast, then the French will get 0 supplies, and so they'll collapse. Despite having overall stronger military. Other than that, we might not be able to enforce here, which would be a bit unfortunate. I don't know. It is what it is. This is why we probably should have gone for Argentina as well. This is a lot of infamy for us, and so this is a pretty bad... I think it's okay, because I think we still managed to succeed, because they are pretty far out, I believe. But, it's going to be very spooky. Like, we are pretty close to bricking the coast here, right? In this little zone. And then we are landing up here, so we probably brick it even if they try and transfer over quickly. And then, yeah, it looks like we're going to get this in, but maybe not. We'll see. Hopefully this battle expands here. I wish they expanded to go after the coast instead of pushing for the capital, but this is the way the AI works. And we get nitroglycerin, which is really good for us. We did overbuild a little bit on the chem plants in anticipation of this. I forget what exactly we wanted to research after this. We want to let this tier 2 text not spread to us, so I think we will go and research something in a different sphere. We got some gnat spreading going on here, and I think that we want to go for mutual funds, and to do that we have to, let's go labor movement. That way we can restrict child labor. We are falling a little bit behind in terms of our education access. Our literacy is coming down due to a variety of factors. The main one being we switched to private schools. Private schools really doesn't give that much access when you have such a low standard of living. In my head, we were going to up the standard of living faster, but we have so much migration and pops, and we just added 15 million pops by taking Beijing. And so, ouch. Another thing is we also have pissed off at us the Anglican Church, which gives a malice to education access. So there's basically no education access. And we are bricking the front here. Ooh, not here, I guess. But we brick the French front over here, and so we will move this guy once he's done. Yeah, so if we manage to get this done, this is the last piece of coast, and then it'll be bricked and France cannot come in, so we don't really care about this over here. France does have soldiers here, but they have no access in terms of getting supply over here. We get laissez-faire, very nice. We are going to be running a deficit, and we also are now getting a huge bump on the investment pool, which I think we have to wait until next tick for it to realize. But what can we swap over now? We kind of have most of the stuff we want. We do want to swap over to proportional taxation, but we're nowhere near being able to do that. We would want to do free trade, but I think that we might just let our pops cool down a little bit. You know, instead of trying to push through, you know, law. They're kind of mad. We want to get rid of these malices. This is fine. We start off with basically perfect laws. Well, not perfect laws, but we start off with extremely good laws as UK. And so, more than happy to rake in the loyalists, decrease the radicals, chill. We do get radicalism when we have, you know, people at -10 or greater, so this is kind of, we'd rather chill. Also, important to note, in order to make the landowners weaker, we are avoiding in incorporated territory, building up. Here, let's stop suppressing and suppress these guys instead. We are trying to avoid building up any stuff. Ooh, okay, we're fine. We're avoiding building up, you know, the rural stuff that's owned by the landowners, i.e. like the farms. We don't want to build them in incorporated territory because that's going to contribute clout to the landowners. But Beijing, luckily we can build anything we want in Beijing for the most part. And, you know, we can also, we don't have to worry too much about overbuilding because we're going to get economies of scale bonus on all of these. All of these are going to get at least 51. And so we don't have to worry about that. So another reason why getting Beijing early is so strong. Yeah, as long as we brick this, which, like, we just want everyone on this front. As long as we brick this front, getting this is going to be super easy. And, of course, we are still decaying the infamy, and so we're kind of in good shape here. Colonization of Hokkaido is eliminated. And so juggling kind of these, like, infamy, where you want to think about generating infamy, always be using your army type of thing. Like opening the market of Japan and Sokoto are both two really good wars that don't accrue any infamy. You can also open market and have someone release. So like we could open France's market and have them release Occitania and Brittany as a war that costs 0 infamy but is maybe productive. Yeah, we're super fine with this being -93. It's not going to be once the rest of the troops get there. We're gonna get New Granada. This is gonna shake out pretty well here. Ooh, I think we forgot something. We did forget to do something. Well, these are, yeah, this is really efficient, so we're gonna swap over there. This is also really good. We're gonna swap over there. It's not good yet, but that's because we're not using the boom booms. What we forgot to do is we forgot to use the boom booms. Now, why does it say you make no money? It's not the case that this is going to make no money, so we're going to turn it on. I think the case is that we just don't have enough employment yet on our chem plants. Where are you, boyos? Yeah, we don't have enough employment. Once employment cranks up, it'll help. Fertilizer is really cheap. Let's see if we can export fertilizer to try and make this all work. Who needs ferts? Yeah. I guess we can send them to America. We do have a little bit of convoy problem, but part of that is on the back of the fact that we've had, you know, now for an extended period of time, we have had our convoys getting raided. We'll eventually need one in the home countries, I guess. Probably not the most productive way of thinking about it, but we are going to build a ton of rails overall in the home countries, so just slapping one down might save us a little bit of clicking later. We are running a slight deficit, which is where we kind of want to be, but now we have enough authority to put in another consumption tax, or we could get rid of a consumption tax, and then now we're going to put in another consumption tax, and now we are not losing money, which is kind of where we wanted to be. So now we can up construction a little bit more. Just a little bit more. We'll do it in all the English territories. Oh, we could also up it in the capital. Part of the reason why I think we're doing a lot better on the money is we are finishing, the price of iron has come down. This is our biggest expense, and it came down because we started to use the boom booms. And we've enforced on New Granada, which is fantastic. And now, will you take a white piece? You're nowhere near it. But what we can do is we can land Algeria and force them to capitulate faster. We'll land with Mackenzie. And with these guys, we will navally invade somewhere else. I guess it's right here. John Seaton, we will keep Hugo. Where is Hugo going? Well, we'll let him go where he wants to go. Actually, we want to keep him in the home countries to make sure that no landing happens, so we'll send him back home. Because if we get landed and they just pile everyone on the front, then we lose this war. I don't even know if they have any... Yeah, they can humiliate us, so we want to avoid we do want to avoid humiliation, so this is a thing that we care about. And let's take a look at all of our bankrolls and who we can maybe get something from. For these guys, our intention is to protectorate them, but we need to get a stronger military relative to them. These guys we want to bring into our customs union, but we do have to wait for the cooldown, because they can't join yet, because they joined someone else's customs union. Terrible. These guys are cordial now, so now we can, once we can grab the Sinai piece of land, which is the goal. These guys are not happy with us. We want to get them in the customs union. We're going to absolve the obligation. Now they're friendly. Now if we look, it is minus 31 instead of minus 61, so as soon as we get a new obligation, we can pull Mexico into the customs union. In Afghanistan, we need to get them cordial or better, so we just absolve the obligation, and now we're much closer. Let's see. It looks like they are pushing us over there, which is fine. To be expected a little bit, to be honest. But this war is going to go nowhere. Again, it's a nothing burger war, but we have infamy decaying, so we don't really care that we get trapped in this war. It's not a big deal. It would be, and we're just going to run through them here, which will decay their war support because they will be partially occupied. We're not landing the mainland because that is a futile expedition. We are experiencing a little bit of a rally here. We will be... what we really need to do is we need to increase... we just need to build more. Another goal for this particular episode, I was thinking, is we want to try and double construction, but that might be a bit of a tall ask. We have a bunch of extra admin, so we already have the institutions we care about most maxed out, so we can up law enforcement a little bit. Mortality we don't care about too much because primarily our growth is through, well, we actually do have a really large population now that we've taken Beijing, but a lot of our growth is through migration at this point. and its mortality per wealth, and we don't have that much wealth. So just kind of where we're at. I don't think we can get the Sinai land from... Oh, we can do it even when we're at war, so we will acquire it. It'll incur us 30,000 cost for a while, and we get the one province in Sinai. Now we are adjacent to them, and so little tempted to try and pull them into the market. Why can't we? Are you a great power, my friend? What? Why can't we pull them into the market? We are going to go to the Diplo tab, go to Diplomatic Actions, invite Customs Union, or why can't we Customs Union? Because they're rank unrecognized major power. Okay. So they have to be cut down to size. That's okay. We will add a port here, and we will add the Suez Canal, and we will subsidize it instantly. And then we can kind of just add a smattering of stuff at the end here. And this will be nice, because we will get faster trade through here. Notably, less to go to our Indian territories. Not the biggest deal, though. Are you taking Mapuche? Oh, you're taking Guarani. Okay, fair enough. And then we will be able to annex New Granada kind of as early as possible. We'll start damaging relations. Are you done yet? I do think that they cannot enforce on us. Ooh, they can, maybe. I thought that we would have a floor of zero because they were trying to humiliate us. Yeah, we don't win this. In fact, why don't you... I'm gonna ask him to come home. But we do occupy Algeria. It's just, it's a war that's not gonna go anywhere. Let's take a look at the goods in our market. What's expensive, what's not. Wood is expensive, and engines are expensive. So we can do something about the engines. Let's first handle this, and then look where we already have engines. And if it's in this territory, Yorkshire, we've already expanded a lot of different stuff in Yorkshire. I do not want to build tall in Yorkshire only, so we are just going to expand in the capital. We eventually will want to level 51 in the capital on the motor industries, so we'll just do that here. We'll set it to water tube boiler because labor is pretty expensive there in the capital, and we will add a rail preemptively because it will take quite a few rails. Now we can go for the child labor law. Now I think that there's pretty good support for this. The trade unionists will become happy on the back of this, which is fantastic. And the industrialists, importantly, don't go below -10 on it, so this is going to be really nice for us. It should be a pretty easy law to pass, although the opposition is in the government, the opposition being the trade unionist. And now we can maybe go psychiatry here. Realism's not terrible. It will put us to the next Arts Academy PM. And I want to let the natural spread sort of handle some of the tier 2 techs over here. We are ahead of tech in most regards, which is a little bit unusual for us. Usually we don't get ahead in tech, so that we lose out on that spread. And the reason being that we don't is because we don't start off as the UK or Britain. Which seem to be very good at that sort of thing. Alright, let's just go into rural here, and we're gonna put all of these on auto expand, the mining operations, and we are gonna be running a bureaucratic shortfall where we get the... Really? I guess we'll just cancel the increase of the law enforcement and just chill. We are, in fact, making money now. I think this is pretty much on the back of, now that these guys are happy with us, they give a really, really good bonus of the 10% manufacturing throughput. And so we want to try and keep them happy. We're going to try and empower them a bit. We're going to try and get the Anglican Church, and wow, the Tory party expands. I'm not sure how exactly you marginalize groups that are in a party. If these guys were broken up and they got under 4%, I believe they get No alliance for you. I believe you can bump them out, but if they're part of a party, I don't think you can bump them out. So I was trying to get all these guys under 5%, but we're not we're not suppressing the armed forces that much, I think. So I think that maybe we stop suppressing them and we bolster these guys. They want to join the Whigs. I think that just kind of cucks our economy. Yeah, it does. So we will hold off on that. Unless... So there's a possibility we want to do this at some point. Super illegitimate. Not going to be winning elections like that. Okay. And so one of the problems... So we have this huge bonus of having the head of state and government from Beijing, which means we have to keep Victoria in government, even if she loses elections, or even if her party loses elections, just because we're getting plus 20 from that, and then like plus 20 from monarchy. And she's really, really good. So I don't think we want to swap off of monarchy anytime soon. Why are we decaying so much faster? Let's take a look. Enemy controls. What are the war goals that you are controlling? What? I'm so confused. What are you controlling that's a war goal? I mean, I guess we might get humiliated by them. This can't possibly be a war goal. I mean, we could just capitulate. It's not too big a deal. We get humiliated, but then we get out of this war. It reduces the prestige of us and prevents us from joining opposing France in Diplo plays, which is like this kind of a nothing burger. It lets us out of this war immediately. Is it because they control this? No, we control that. Huh. I mean, we're losing these like little land dinky battles, except for this one. We're taking, and then we're gonna take this one. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, why we are losing, because they're not taking our capital. Usually when we humiliate them, they have to take the capital, but I guess not here. We go nitroglycerin, we can. This would make labor in Yorkshire cheaper, so it's not just that it affects just the single building itself, it also affects the other buildings in Yorkshire. We'll just swap that over. Eventually it's better. Just kind of thinking whether or not we should just capitulate right now. Maybe we should. I think the writing's kind of on the wall a little bit. You know, I don't think we're winning this war. Right? We are running a bureaucratic shortfall. In a second, we will see if we have any place that doesn't have enough guys. We don't. We will do that. We get more throughput bonus from the capital. Eventually we get the skyscrapers, which further boosts that. I'm really confused as to what exactly it is. If anyone knows in the comments what the war goal that they control that's causing us to... Okay, wait, now they don't control the war goal. What is the war goal? I'm so confused what the war goal is. That makes a difference for this. Because now we can wait them out, because they're partially occupied, and they should decay a bit faster. I'm confused. Color me confused. Was it because they lost here? And we occupied them there? I mean, they're not going to be able to land us. So we can continue to land them, I guess. In various places, just to try and enforce them a little faster, or get them out of this a little faster. Also, just adds some turmoil, brings them down a couple pegs. Alright, what's expensive in the market? We do have unproductive trade routes. We do kind of want to keep those just because we want them to be... Well, this one we can get rid of, but we restricted child labor. Alright, so the P-Lead party wins. The Tory party has quite a bit of... Oomph. And now we are less legitimate because we got not as big a share as we wanted. So what we will do here, I think, is we will decrease the taxes, which makes us run kind of the deficit we wanted and gives us +5 legitimacy, which keeps us in righteous. I do think we maybe want to, if this party is starting to get closer to winning, let's stop bolstering them and let's start suppressing these guys again. We do get a free government reform. I don't think we're going to use it. And of course we are decaying infamy constantly. But we do want to decay all of... We want to finish this war before we decay all the infamy out, but they can dip below -0 now. Because we do not have a war goal on their capital that requires us taking their capital, so... We're going to take there, and then we're going to go for Corsica, I think. I forgot about Corsica when I was trying to evaluate where we should take. After this tech, I think we do go for... We try and make our way over to shift work. I want these two to nat spread to us to try and get as much tech as possible, but maybe that's just being greedy. Who knows? Let's try and get to 31, which is the current max economy of scale bonus. And a few of these, well, this isn't profitable at all, but we can just crank this up to like 31. And our shipyards are pretty profitable, so let's just add a couple, and then we'll just add another 10 here into the queue. Once more into the queue, my dear friend. Wait, seems like the wrong reference to make. This will be over quickly. Again, we're keeping Hugo in England so that he can defend against landings, and we were having this guy patrol. We unlock the realistic art. Why don't we... Well, I mean, they're not landing here, but we'll just have them patrol anyways. And we do unlock the tech. We are gonna go now. Yeah, we're losing out on a lot of the nat spreading because we're just ahead on everything. Why don't we go baking powder? We're prepping to go shift work. We're gonna go... Well, actually, let's go chemical bleaching. And then we'll go baking powder into shift work. That way we can get larger economies of scale, throughput bonus. I think I'm fine with this. We're gonna need some more admins. Let's put them up in Yorkshire. I think we're gonna have a larger pop in Yorkshire overall. Still not willing to accept the war. Are we decaying faster because they control war goals? They do not control the war goal. I wonder what it was. Maybe they just have to control any of our territory or something? I don't know. We, of course, will land on Corsica now. Long live Napoleon. Okay, let's take a look at our bankrolls and see what we can do. We're waiting on them to get out from underneath. We want to get these guys, but we don't have an obligation. We have an obligation with them, but they're not happy enough, so we'll absolve it, make them amicable, and now they will be under -50, or above -50, rather. And then after this war, we have to be thinking about what we want our next war to be. We are going to be pretty decayed, because we had to fight France. Like, if we don't have to fight France, we can go into another war that's maybe -5, but we are going to have to fight another large war. But I think that this war will be against Argentina this time. You know, we just vassalize Argentina. That feels pretty good. And then we are going to start looking to annex some of these guys. We're damaging relations with them now. We do kind of want... So we cannot Diplo get these guys in the market. So let's actually stop improving relations and begin damaging relations. We cannot Diplo get these guys in the market because they are too big. So we might want to slap them around a little bit at some point. They are in our customs union. We are trying to get them in. I suppose maybe we want to proactively go after like Kiva or something. Oh, we have no Diplo. Okay. We could just go after the Sikhs then. Yeah, let's start bankrolling them. It's not too expensive. was hoping to see the standard of living go up as we decrease taxes, not really seeing it go there. It's a little bit unfortunate, but we do stay in the legitimacy bracket that is giving us some bonuses. The Intelligentsia are becoming dangerously close to getting out of being powerful, which we don't want, so we will up them there, and we will also build a couple unis here in the queue. That should take care of that. We want to keep them powerful, that way we are maintaining this plus 50% migration attraction, but also the society tech cost modifier, and as long as they're powerful, that bonus is doubled. If they dip under 18%, they will no longer be powerful. In order to get an interest group powerful, you have to get them over 20%. Bueller, can we make peace with you? Nah, you don't like the peace. You have huge gold reserves. Tragic. Of course, we're not, like, really fighting them properly, but they are, like, slightly occupied, but this is giving almost nothing. And we occupy Corsica, but they don't really care. It's not incorporated territory. I suppose this is going to brick, like, all their colonies if we just keep doing this on their colonies, you know. So this is a positive thing for us. I think we might go after this as well with our colonization, although we're colonizing here just fine. Boom, 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 boom. We want to import more of this stuff, but no one's really importing a lot. I think we have it on... Oh, I think we... Did we switch to free trade? No, we didn't. Let's check what we have hardwood on. Yeah, we are protecting it. So it should be easier to import. We want to encourage exports on fertilizers. Persia backed down against Russia. You get annexed, my boy? You did get annexed. That's awkward. We were hoping to eventually get Persia into the market, but... So Russia might be... Russia is doing things they don't normally do. They are rivals of us, too, so... Do have to watch out a little bit. So France, how are we, just deadlocked in an immortal battle. Never to finish. Now let's see why people are radicalizing. Standard of living. Population movements. Yeah, it's mainly standard of living. I hear you. I really do. That's pretty low. We actually want that to be higher because we want more education. The only way to increase it is to build, and we are building a lot too, so... Oh, we can increase education. I forgot about that. And we can maybe increase law enforcement a little bit. How much are we paying for each of these? Yeah, so we can't afford to increase law enforcement just a little bit. We might have to decrease it again. That's fine. Not a big deal. We do want to... Yeah, we do want this war to end soon, so we could declare another war that's productive. So... Yeah, Portugal gives us an obligation. Oh, we are so close to being able to protectorate them. But we can't quite yet. Maybe if we expand the army? Because this isn't... I believe the cap for this is 25. So we get more army power projection. They'll wipe peace out eventually. But if we could go after Portugal and Diplo get them as a protectorate, this would be really good. So we might increase the military here. We'll do some of that. And we get the tech. Let's just put it on baking powder right now and then think for a second. So, Maybe we just go fieldworks. We have some stuff not spreading to us here. Psychiatry's not spreading to us. We could go organized sports, actually. Once psychiatry finishes, then we'll do... Of course, we can just go baking powder into what we want. Yeah, let's just do baking powder into what we really want. Economies want only one thing, and it's disgusting. Okay. Makes labor cheaper as well. We can now swatch these over to bougie patronage or independent artists. I think I like independent artists because we are having a little bit of trouble with the clout of the Intelligentsia, and that will help bolster them a little bit. So we want to maintain the large bonus. Trade unions are coming up quite nicely. Really want to see the landed gentry get the axe, as well as the Anglican Church, but they're holding on with the armed forces, I think. Let's take a look and see if we can recruit any good generals. We kind of want to stay ahead of this, I think, in a way that we haven't. So they're armed forces. We are looking for people in interest groups that we want. So let's also take a look at Navy and see if we can recruit any admirals that we would want. Rural folk is a little bit appealing. And this would split up our otherwise 100 stack guy. Let's do that. Yeah, Russia's big. Russia, you thick, girl. Girl, you thick. Can we invite you to the customs union? Yes, we can, and we have an obligation, so we will do this, and then we will stop bankrolling you. And then we will try and get Kiva, and then we will try and protect these three against Russian interference. It'll just be a moment before they join in. They do join in. We expand our customs union, and now we can start bankrolling Kiva. Can we not decay below 0? Yeah, we can't decay below 0 because we hold the capital and they don't have any of the war goals. So we're just going to wait them out instead of getting humiliated. Although maybe it's even worth getting humiliated just so we can declare another war. I don't know. Our auto queue is cranking in. Now that's a cool anthem. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see. Let's play a little bit of whack-a-mole here. And then we want to get the paper up a little bit. You're currently working on employing. Let's increase the paper a little bit. Up that throughput bonus, we will add another rail because we'll need it eventually. And then we'll play whack-a-mole where we can. I think we want ports here and here. Because we do want a little bit more convoys. They just need a little bit more juice anyways. It's not an infrastructure problem, but I guess I don't mind adding the ports. It is a convoys problem. Well, this convoy thing will help that anyways. So yeah, you have infrastructure. Boyos. We just don't have enough convoys to support the supply network because we have been getting raided. Which is fair enough. What we can do actually, I think that we can get a little bit more convoys here by switching everything over to cargo ports, which will add infrastructure and convoys. And we kind of want to be in that that boat anyways. These are coming along quite nicely. That we have all this here. It's nice. We are hemorrhaging authority, so something happened that changed things up. It couldn't have been... I hope it wasn't... Yeah, she hasn't died. But, let's see. Is this something? No, it must have been an event, or maybe... we lost a bonus. Although they give the bonus, and they've never been happy with us. Ooh, we can even do this. Interesting. Politician dies. That's interesting. We get an obligation from the Sikh Empire. We will absolve it. So now they are cordial. So now we can Oh, are they too big as well? So let's go to diplomacy, go to diplomatic actions, go to invite customs union, and see why Sikh cannot do it. Because they are an unrecognized major power. So we will stop bankrolling them. They are too thick. Which means they are a decent puppet target. So we cannot diplo get them. We are just winning some of these. Have you decided you've had enough? You have not. One day you will. I think we could maybe go after some laws. There were some laws we wanted to pass that we just didn't want to work into quite yet. Because we didn't want to make people pissed. I guess we're really like having the trade unions bonus, so maybe we just kind of want to sit on this. Wealth voting is doing something. Eventually it won't really do much of anything, so we can switch to universal suffrage at that point for some IG clout. At the current juncture, our standard of living is low enough that it is doing stuff, so I think we will start adding to the textile mills here, make them auto-expand, have that be their focus. Add to the paper mills here, have them auto-expand, and just make sure each place has an industry that it is auto-expanding. And we will add to. As we try and increase standard of living here. The labor is a little bit cheaper in all these other states than it is in the capital, and so it is easier to pull up the standard of living / price of labor. You're already doing your thing. Good on you. You don't have anything built, that's fine. Actually, what do we need? Well, it says boom booms. I guess we can make another boom booms place. I'd rather increase the one we have to 51 though. So I guess we'll add more. And then we will probably need more rails there and more rails there as a consequence of this. And we will need some in Wales and some here. And we'll just grab those when they run out. And now France goes negative. So this is why we did not. They would not go negative into negative war support if we had war reps on them, which is why we did not put any sort of things on them, because we know we are just going to get a white piece anyways, because we're not going to be able to land France. Good rifles. Good, because now we switch to privately owned, which is the petite bourgeoisie, and we complete modernizing the arsenal. Repeaters plus migration attraction, or just more migration attraction. I think we want the tech. Always the tech. Although we are getting pretty ahead in tech, despite having a falling literacy rate, which is far from ideal. I guess we could expand more unis, but just add a couple more. This will also bolster the power of the Intelligentsia, who we are currently bolstering to maintain the doubled bonus of this, mainly, is what we want. Also would not mind the trade unionists becoming powerful, because they're pretty close now. So we could bolster them, so we could double the manufacturing industry's throughput. The trade unionists give the biggest bonus, and then Intelligentsia and Industrialists are also really good, so getting these three powerful and happy with you is really nice. It is kind of the hat trick, if it were. Let's take a look at our unpinned journal entries. So for this, we have to have greater than 5 realist art that is profitable. So we'll get on that. And then Parma agreed to be the protectorate of Austria. You don't say. Is this an actual battle? Oh, it's a naval battle, but they're actually winning it. This will be... Alright, well, you have to get through Hugo, so good luck. Good luck on the landing, though. We have 1 battalion in Senegal, so we probably want to not have that battalion in Senegal. idea. Oh, do we just have a general in Senegal? With no battalions? Did I misread that? I don't see any place where we just have one battalion, so that must be the case. Oh no, they're gonna get a landing off. Except we have Hugo himself. And now they will just take the white piece. We puppet them, and now we will be looking for another war. But I think I'm going to call it an episode here. For this episode, we colonized. Well, colonized. We puppeted New Granada. We had another fight with France. And so this was kind of the main feature of what was going on. At the very beginning, we kind of summarized some of the stuff of the run, the interesting features. You know, Victoria just having this bonus is pretty big, or not that bonus. Just having plus 50 popularity off the top is just super nice for, you know, generating a lot of authority. We have 3 consumption taxes in for 400 points. We're bolstering the Intelligentsia, and we're encouraging manufacturing. We're using a total of 700 authority, you know, and we have super liberal laws that aren't, like, we have multiculturalism, total separation, rights of assembly right now. So this is a pretty big deal. We'll probably stay on rights of assembly. The technology spread is going to be less useful for us playing as the UK. Technology spread's really, really good with most countries, but I guess if you are playing UK or France, it's not as good. Or Prussia/Austria. Even Russia is pretty backward in terms of the tech at the start of the game, so you'll benefit a lot. Same with the United States, but... so yeah, next episode we will be looking for another war that is pretty big, that does not have France in it. So we will probably be trying to, like, puppet Argentina. This will probably be the one to go for, because if you look, no country, there's no France here. And we will generate 12 infamy, which is a good amount of infamy for us to decay, for us to start rolling into some other wars, like that give around 5 infamy, like taking the state here for Bulgan was another good one, because East Borneo has a lot of natural resources. You know, maybe we go after Zulu, maybe not. I think we kind of want to diplo get Zulu more than anything. We could start bankrolling them, because they take kind of the... So they are one state, so maybe it's worth conquering them, but the, like, return on investment, the ROI is kind of bad. We do want to just puppet trucal states, though, stuff like this. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. Puppeted New Granada. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or share, and, you know, have a good one. If you've been sitting an extended period of time, maybe get up and take a walk, you know, just a little 5-minute walk. Increase the quality of your life by an amount that is, not commensurate with the amount of difficulty required, so, you know, it's very efficient. This is a game about efficiency. Maybe drop that there. Anyways, have a good one. Bye-bye.